Hello there, this is Marcio, and welcome to another episode of Coding with Agents, or the longer version, Culture Coding with Agents. All right. So today, and not different than the other days, what's going to happen? Reflections from the life, from the routine of a builder, a developer. Actually, I can also say that it's a web developer that is recycling, always important, right? For us to find ways to recycle ourselves. And it's my intention to motivate other developers, but not only developers, because now, throughout these days, the AI agentic days, now they're here, right? Now they're here around us to help us be more humans and less machines. Because we're so much like sometimes you get that we look at things and then we forget that the whole point is for us to work in what's important as well, not only in what's urgent, to be less mechanized. Maybe that's an opportunity. But I know also that it may come with a level of pain or struggling. But that's something we didn't invent it now, right? With every single technological revolution. In other words, I guess it's when the environment changes, it provokes us to change. But change is inevitable, right? And I think it's very important for us to pay attention to how we can embrace change in a happy way to some extent, if we can, in a healthy way. All right. Okay, so today, most of these reflections they go in synchronicity with what's going on in terms of challenges or goals that I have in front of me. And I welcome you to do the same sessions or to send your materials if you want, send your reflections if you want. You can send via text. I really enjoy. I think it's important for us to exchange more, to find out, hey, how are you using these agents, these new tools? Every single person is different. That's the best of us, that we are different. And we use these tools in different ways, right? User innovation, the phenomenon comes from the unique perspectives that we have as we're using tools, as we're living through the day, living through challenges, experiencing, experiencing things firsthand. All right. Okay. So what I have in front of me today, you see, it's part of a WhatsApp. Okay, client right there. This is actually a bot. Okay, a WhatsApp bot implementation. On here, on the right hand side is a terminal, and then I have Visual Code there with the project. Okay, this morning here in Brazil, I I was thinking that every single directory in your computer, it's a narrative, right? What is not a narrative here? What if every single directory, okay? Because when I open Visual Code, the thing that you see there, right? You see that refers to a folder, to a directory in my computer, right? And when I'm using the terminal right here, okay, gonna hit here, apologies there in front of the terminal. Okay, and then I clear the screen, right? And I'm listing the very same files that you see on the left hand side, right? So the Visual Code Editor gives me this opportunity to navigate this directory, right? Like Jurassic Park 1, I can open the folders, you see. We're gonna get there in some episode in the future, the navigating folders Jurassic Park style. That's for another day. But you see, I can open the folders there, right? Yes. And via terminal, I have another interface for navigating folders, right? Say I want to enter the directory called bots. I can type cd bots, right? Oh, see, ls, I see the contents of that directory. Oh, that's so nice, Marcio. Why are you telling me that? Well, because what if every single directory in a computer is an entity that is alive? Maybe not every single directory, but say, what if, see, I am right now in this directory, Weplex Age, okay, that's a project. And I, here, of course, Visual Code is the same directory. What if this directory is an entity? What if this directory is an agentic entity that I can talk with this directory because it's alive? Okay. It's almost like associating an agent with a directory. Let us think about that. I have no like clear thoughts about that at all, right? Just thought, thinking that came across this morning. But anyway, that's I think that's enough for the session, by the way, right? The first part of the session is over. I'm here considering that. Now we change to let us work in something here, right? I because today, I have this project and that's an agent, right? That's an agent. I mean, that's a WhatsApp bot, right? I'm going to set up the server to enable that bot. Okay. That's listening to a port. And now, if I go here, okay, and I say hi, okay, you see activity on the right hand side here, right? And there's also activity here. It came out message there. Oh, you will receive a confirmation about a meeting. That's something in the middle. I didn't tell you the context. It doesn't really matter much here, but it matters that I have this WhatsApp agent. Okay, bot, not an agent, a bot. So far, a WhatsApp bot. And it matters that you see it's alive, right? That's real WhatsApp on the left hand side. I just collapsed the users there, right? My mother and and the other folks in the chat, and there we are here with the chat, right? With this specific bot. Okay, now this bot, right? This bot implementation is not ideal yet. It's a meeting setup system, okay? And I have a problem there. The problem that I have in front of me, okay, this is the situation. I need a bot. It's kind of a sales meeting bot, right? But the complication is if I let this bot talk with the person that comes through the website of the business that I'm running, sometimes you you put the bot there, right, in the wild, in the jungle, and you expect that the bot, oh, can you close a sales for me, right? Or can you at least do your job? In this case, the job is set up a meeting with the salesperson. Can you do your job? Thank you very much. Go, go. And then 1 week passes by, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you don't hear anything from the bot. And then you're like, ah, let me check it out, all right? You look there and there's no errors, there's no bugs, nothing's going on wrong at all. Nothing's like surprising. And look at the bot. The bot is operating. It's in the jungle. There's no activity there. You know, that's like something. Developers, they know about that. Web developers, they know it too. Oh, web developers know about that. Web developers, I can to summarize this problem. That you put a code live and you are totally in the dark. I'm gonna just summarize. I'm afraid I was gonna say it's a joke, but the problem is is not a joke. There are countless cases of pages and systems where something was given to users and no one can see anything, right? And sometimes even worse because the way to fix that is to add, put lots of cameras there, right, to track the user. And then you start being creative that, oh, yes, now I'm tracking the user, right? And let's monetize that in other ways. But you forgot that the whole point is to get a feedback of what's happening. What is that experience about when you put something there, right? So in this case, it's a WhatsApp bot. And I was thinking, okay, it doesn't matter. Maybe for the purposes of, in theory, right, in terms of an experiment, what if the bot, it's an agent, it's a software system. But what if the bot informs the user saying, yeah, I know I'm gonna copy whatever happens in this conversation. My manager is going to see everything. Okay, are you okay with that? That kind of thing, right? And then so now I wanted to see what's going on with this bot conversation, and I don't have that implementation. What what you just saw there, right, is everything I have. Data comes out in the screen. Oh yeah, I can see that there's certain things this bot was able to do by watching the logs, right? I can see that, right? Some logs there, but I wanted to start to create an interface to navigate that space. Okay. Now I do know that I'm using this bot. Okay. And this bot specifically, let me check here. This bot is this bot is the welcome bot. Okay. So the welcome bot, the welcome bot in my code is bot welcome with Plex is here. I just found the directory there. All right. And I know now I'm looking at the code. Okay, I'm remembering that because I came across this project this morning. And I see that it uses a kind of a state machine there. It's called state schedule. Okay. The intention of this bot is to set up a meeting. Again, kind of a sales bot there. In- it's a bot in the middle talking with the user. Oh, the user wants to set up a meeting with a salesperson, then it sends a message to me. Now, it's a state machine, right? To visualize that is tricky. So I was thinking, if it's possible, first, right? I wanted to be able to visualize this state machine because state machine, in a way, is in this case is one state leads to another. It's simple, I guess. It's simple. So I'm gonna ask this. So I want to visualize this state machine per conversation, per users, okay? Where is the user in the flow? So let's do that. Hi there, hi there. So could you set up a new memo 2025, 12, 4th of December, 100. Oh, wait, is read me 100, memo 100, um, feedback, bot feedback, bot views. Let's call bot views dot md. And then I I wonder from the case of welcome bots, welcome Weplex, if that state machine state is schedule JSON is linear. I don't know if that's a proper way to refer to the state machines linear. Or in terms of next state, is are is it one that just takes the user to a next state? So first I wanted a section with a brief analysis of that state machine. Okay. Then another section. Then an introduction to this MD memo using SCQA, Barbara Minto, SCQA situation complication question answer, and Barbara Minto is the person that I'm part of the people that believes in that. Cracked the executive communications code. Okay, she for some people she revolutionized the communications at McKinsey, and if not, she revolutionized communication for me. All right, using Barbara Mento, where the situation is about how to know what is going on with a conversation between user X and the bot, and the complication is the situation is that that knowing what goes on with a conversation between user and bot is important And the complication is how to do it elegantly and in a way that scales, however, without us now being creating a huge system. So the direction here is for us to analysis of the complexity of our current state machine, proposal for a event system, collateral event system in in synchronicity with what happens, generating events with date time for user X, bot X, uh, state machine X, as in creating a doc, a flow doc, a DB, DB flow doc for the session. And I also consider that since to know is key and to not go too complex is key, then perhaps for now an intermediary interface so I can see what happens in real happens like multiple panes from a the same local host as in views, session views. Now I'm writing a lot, right? I'm thinking. That's the not subtle. That's the science and art of by as you attempt to write, you start to think, to visualize where you want to go. And of course, you're gonna hit walls there, right? Sometimes you're at. That's why it's important to write small projects in some circumstances, something that you can see first, you accomplish, you can celebrate, then later you destroy that little castle and do another, right? Because if you narrate a lot, you're gonna see too many things. You're gonna be refactoring in your head. You can be lost, right? So I want the session views. So let us start like that for now. The bot which may be used that library uh, session feedback is the welcome Wiplex and likely the state schedule JSON is the subject and perhaps a session tracking structure shall leave aside like a state session mapper, state session flow feedback. state session. See, we have a real session going on, right? And I want to visualize events logging. Let's try that. So I call it state session events logging for now because it's about logging, right? That's the way to think small, right? I guess. So let us think. Let us just think, what is this? So I know that the memo is likely being produced and it's going to help me as I read, right, through that document. I'm gonna have another visualization there. But I'm really like anxious to see an UI there, for this multiple users. And I really wanted to see the state machine from above. I don't want to see the logs of what's happening. I want to see what could happen versus what's happening. That's something I wanted to influence the system. Because that's like operations, right? Like a chief operations officer. I'm looking at the space. I know where people can enter. And I want to see people entering the space. Okay, let's see what we have there in terms of the document. Okay, bot views memo. Welcome WePlex state machine snapshot. Entry starts season one. Welcome basic. Proceeds sequentially. Welcome basic. Welcome form. Meeting set. Meeting change. Each episode collects specific fields: interest, username, user profession, meeting day, meeting hour, and change. Before advancing, there are no alternative branches or early exits. Meeting change is a self-looping final state that expects change with no incomplete diversion. Whoa, diversion. The flow effectively ends there after acknowledgement. Net effect, a linear scripted path with minimal branching. Progression relies on form completion rather than conditional logic. Yes, I remember that. Good. This analysis is supporting me to understand that flow. Mhm. Situation. We need clear visibility info into what happens during user X bot conversation, particularly for the Welcome Eplex assistant that uses the current state machine. Complication. Capturing this elegantly and at scale is hard without building heavy observability stack. Today we lack an easy session-centric view of events. Question: how can we track and review each session state, progress, and user bot exchanges without over-engineering? Answer: add a lightweight event layer tied to state transitions, time-stamped per session, plus a simple local session views interface to inspect multiple sessions side by side. Complexity. The state machine is linear and shallow, so observability can focus on sequencing rather than branching logic. No user per session timeline exists. We cannot replay or audit how a user moved through states or what payloads were emitted. Interesting. Very good point. Because the idea of replaying could be very interesting, right? Because you can see actual the conversation. External actions, activity inform, activity change. Lacked paired event records, reducing traceability for integrations. Propose a minimum event system for state transitions. Emit structured events on every on-enter. Expect satisfaction on complete pre and on complete hop event schema. Actor bot user system. Action. On-enter field capture transition. Side effect. Wow, I don't even remember side effect. What is that? Storage append only JSON L under or date partitioned to avoid locking the main config. Hook points instrumentation the state inside the state driver and library session feedback style modules to push events and propagate session ID. Side effect logging, wrap activity form activity change call. So every outbound integration has a matching side effect event with args captured. Let me see something. Side effect. The word side effect we don't use at all, right? Okay, so was a word from here. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So what about for now? Okay. What if oops, wait. I am in front of the chat. What if we so far implement a the slash view session views where we log keep the views in memory. Okay, so far no db views. Okay, so I wanted and I shall open say view session slash welcome Wiplex. Okay, then it then the we update the index MJS of this bot to load to fill the events per user like hashed by phone to fill the events per user hashed by phone according to the state events state session logging JSON. Okay. Now the spec at this point is to is to log tells no the spec of this JSON allows me to specify the actions and tied to the tied to the conditions in the state schedule. Let us see state schedule on enter, as in track, log, log as on enter, on enter, when state when is on enter, on enter, on complete, on complete, pre, complete, pre. Now I'm thinking this is a state machine. I don't want to log on enter arbitrarily. I want to log on enter of given states, right? State on enter. This other is log log a state ID. Maybe I can't think without visualizing. So I thought about what if I log the state ID? My case is the episode state episode ID, which this is this is the episode logging names for now. Now open a sidebar for each session of new phone, okay? As in a row. And the left row show boxes for the episode states of the state is scheduled JSON for now. Okay, let us do it. So this is about releasing something, right? This is really common in the developer's life because you this is just like writing a book, right? You don't know what you're writing. It is the act of writing that is the exercise that gives you clarity, unless if you have written that many times already, right? So I'm gonna get a coffee now. Meanwhile, the tool is implementing. Because part of me wants to see the states like circles with states inside and arrows. But I don't know yet. I don't have use cases more complex to visualize the best way to visualize an expected interaction between a bot and a user, right? But part of me wants to start visualizing. I think just to visualize the state machine is very important. And I keep calling state machine. I don't know if that's a state machine. So what we have in when you're like talking with a person, salesperson, giving instructions, it's usually a structured state machine in conversations. That's something to ask for the tools and to check other narratives there, right? Sales narratives are always state machines or not. So if I can start visualizing that's something important, then on the right hand side, I want to see the sessions and the results there. Maybe it would if it would be interesting if I could tap the sessions of the users. And if I tap, it's almost like I'm monitoring that user. On the left hand side, then I would see, what's happening, like the states blinking. That's something for that could give us a visualization of what's happening, leading to understanding what we want to do, right? Now, I wonder, this server just asked for the tool to give me a web interface. I don't know where this thing is going to put the interface because I didn't give like directions, but I see that. Oh, wait, I mean, on your way there. You see, I see a there is this session view star. All right, let's see. Added readme memo something with a brief state machine analysis linear welcome something. So far, there's some code there, new. When I say, oh yeah, there's more things here. Okay. Implemented in-memory session viewing logging. Added library to track per bot sessions in memory with hashed font keys and bounded event histories. Exposed session views. Welcome Eplex in the index MJS. Okay. That's something I wanted to see. Session views. Okay. Redirects to view session. Welcome Eplex. Hmm. Okay. So I may not need this extra. Wait. Mhm. In front of you there. I may not need this extra. Okay. But view session welcome Aplex. Get sessions for bot. This get sessions for bot. It's part of session view store. Right. Now expose it, introduce it state the JSON file. We should look at that a little bit. Right now it's simple, state ID and actions. Good. Uh, and instrumented, instrumented, right? That's interesting. Oh, apologies there. Instrument, so that's something. Wait, let me close the memo here. Now we have here on the right hand side is instrumented bots welcome index to record enter field captured side effect transition effects per session using state log labels and to log on state enter transition. Now, if I do the view changes right here, interested in checking the changes, okay, oh wait, div changes to the instrumentation, right? That's the wording there. So there's a function there. Now handle episode carries on session phone, record session event was introduced in some of the places. Not too bad, I guess, for now. See, that's modification for one bot only, right? So it's not gonna mess up with other bots. And this bot is the subject of refactoring and improvements, okay? Okay, all right. Now what we have here is, shall we do this? But I want as well, wait. I want us to access this localhost server, which is the view session, right? Welcome Weplex. Yes. Welcome Basic, welcome form, meeting set, meeting change. No sessions yet. Now, one thing I can do is just say hi in the chat to see what happens. But I know that my session was started before in terms of the offline information database. I already had a session there. And now we have an in-memory session. Probably going, if I do that, let's see what happens. It's probably going to log the last state. I don't know. All right, if I say hi here. By the way, I don't know if that appears live. Maybe didn't wait. Maybe the Facebook didn't pass the messages, I guess. Yeah, because you need to have some interaction there in the first place here. This could be because, wait, of the tunnel, because I'm connecting my laptop with a remote computer. Okay, wait, I have to reset a few things here. All right, let's try again. Hi. Yes, something is happening there, right? Now, of course, this is not real time yet, right? But then if I reload there, yes, you see something on the right hand side, correct? Because I can see that out of the sudden, one event entering and field capture appeared in my system. Now, one thing I wanted from here, because this session is going to be, we can end the session soon, right? Like leave the party in the right moment so you can reflect. But then I'm thinking if, right, let's try to do that, right? Um, okay, this is good. Okay, this is good. But I was thinking if the web view also could be watching for live sessions from the front end, get via push or other simple socket style communication. Is it possible? Or a polling anyway? If then the logging event system puts an item, that item gets to the UI. Keep keep a bouncing green fade smooth line for when watching on. Okay, now I'm asking for visual effects. I don't want to ask many things now because I really want to close the session. But what we have now is indeed a system that I had to reload. And I see expectations on the left, oops, expectations left hand side, and I had to reload, right? Now it's implementing some event emitter. There's definitely a notion of the session store there, right? All right. Now I fear sometimes the size of this video that I record gets to a point that the whole web page crashes and I lose the video. Hoping that's not going to happen today because I want to log this session for analysis later. Okay, this change is taking a bit of time and let me get more coffee. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to turn on this thing, which didn't work. Div class. Hmm. Well, that's weird. What is that? Div class. Oh, wait. Here. Class. No, I see. Maybe. Hmm, HTML with JavaScript with HTML inside. Okay. Okay, we got. So please take that code HTML out. You can use Express server. Yeah, we will need one more change there because we have HTML here inside this code and I want to simplify a little bit, right? Hoping that this is simple. There is actually a reason for doing that, right? Maybe this code could actually, will probably need a little bit of refactoring for sure to use some dynamic loading of pages. I mean, the web page should set up the visuals and then load the data instead of we generate that HTML with the variables there and all the information, the session information. All right. What can we do? Meanwhile, something's happening. Hmm. Public directory now was created. Now the system comes with a server. In the future, maybe this web page is not going to be there for sure. We're so far doing here. So this is like when you put code that you know that you have to remove, right? But it may work for now. I see there is an HTML there, and this HTML comes with lots of JavaScript, session information in the middle. Let's see. Can I at least run the server? I wonder. Yes. Can I at least open this? Yes. Watching, you see, on the right hand side, there is an addition there. Seems to be watching. Now, Let's say hi here, right? Hi. We focus here. Yeah, something came live. One event though now, right? In terms of the other case. So I say hi again. Oh yeah, because no, now I see. We had two hi messages uh, before, right? You see, two hi messages there, and when I fixed the tunnel connectivity thing, two messages came at once, and I didn't understand. But that's basically meeting change event there, right? That's very nice. So I wanted fear I fear this video may crash, but I really wanted to erase my database. Let's see if I can do that. Let's see if I can do that quickly. So I could try to simulate. See, wait, I want to access this. Yeah, and if this is another system, run action. I remove it, the user, and I reload here. Oh, wait, because this is live session, right? Turn on again, right? Right. Uh-huh. Turn on again. Reload the system, watching. Now we say hi. This is a fresh new session, right? When we say hi here, the watching is there. The chat is on the left-hand side. Oh, choose a bot. Yeah. Entering that welcome case, changing to welcome. Hi. Hello. How are you? I am your assistant. Would you like to set up a presentation? Yes. Sim. Welcome basic, welcome basic. Now, welcome basic again. Interest true. Form. All right. Could you tell me your name and profession? Marcio, builder. Whoops, more things here. Oh, consider the following meetings. Yeah, I want to set up number 4, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Thank you. You're going to be contacted. All right. Thank you very much. Let's end this session as soon as possible before any other trouble comes our way.